and then you say,
Oh, yeah. So a master of wisdom, we've had 63 people on this planet that have become a master of wisdom. So I come from the Christian tradition, so we all know that Jesus overcame and served the role of office of the Christ. Most of us, that is Hinduism, and a master of wisdom from Hinduism is Krishna. You've heard of Krishna? And that was a prior time, that was 10,000 years ago. So back then, Jesus didn't come yet, so that was an older historical date, and Krishna meant Christ. Krishna means Christ in the Hindu tradition. So back then, that was the highest that was given for that time. And when a master comes, and there's other masters too, after Krishna came Gautama Buddha. So Gautama Buddha came, and he was a master of wisdom. We've had 63 on the planet. And they come and they cycle back in under different names for the time period. So 63 is not a big number. So we've only had so many, right? There's now 8 billion people here, and I've read there's up to, I think we have 60 billion potential souls that can incarnate on Earth. And well, let's continue that with the Masters of Wisdom. We're all evolving. As Charles Darwin shared, there's evolution. White rabbits in the snow, they survive, right? We know physical evolution, but there's also emotional, mental, and spiritual evolution. So we grow our ability to use our brains, and we connect with our heart. And as we grow in our ability to use our brains, they call it higher consciousness, or you have the ability to focus better. And so a master of wisdom you can't mistake, because there's so much love radiating from them. Another name for a master of wisdom is lords of compassion. They're able to love in such a way that they invite the love from our heart. And we say, wow, that was a very special thing. Who are you? We know a master by God's love, or the love of God, or higher love, or however we want to call that. In the Bible, they call it love agape. They always have a name to take it to the higher level of love. Well, on the planet, most of us are moving along in our evolution, and the Bible talked about reincarnation, but a lot of that was removed and by some of the kings a while ago. But I'm Elijah's come again. There's clue to reincarnation in our Bible. It's more common to talk about it in the East. So we don't just get one birth time and we're over. We have eternal life. Life is given, and we reincarnate. And through reincarnation, we learn lessons and we grow our consciousness. Well, the masters have grown for this planet, all the lessons it has to offer, they've grown all the way. And the 63 that have stayed have decided to help us. They could have moved on, but they decided to stay. Every new cycle of time, we go from constellational influence from one age to the next. So as one age loses influence, another age comes in. This constellational influence is real. And we're going from the Piscean age to the Aquarian age. And right when we're 50-50 in any age, when it's about 50-50, it moves a little bit each day. It takes 2,000-year cycle, so it's not even a percentage point. Percent is quite a big shift. So it's a gradual transition. Well, when you're 50-50 in any age, going from one age to the next, we've always had crisis. And from crisis, we call out, and that's always delivered a master of wisdom. Well, I have a picture here, and we're in that time now. Who doesn't see crisis now? We have crisis talked about every day now, correct? And we're in the middle of a crisis. So the message from Share International is a message of hope, that we know that we have help. So here to help for the master. Gentleman appears in a white robe. It's Christian people, right? And they said, well, who in their minds? And as you walk through the crowd, people were healing like a Jesus story. Spontaneous healings. They said, well, who are you, Jesus? Who are you? This can't be happening, because these people needed some very serious healing. And when the healings were happening, he stopped at one point and he started speaking in their particular native tongue. And he introduced himself as the world teacher for this age. And he said, my name is Maitreya. So we researched where does the name Maitreya come from? And it comes from the Buddhist tradition. Then in the West, I happen to be a Christian. We're expecting Jesus, right? But if you lived in the East and that was your influence, in the Buddhist tradition, they're expecting Maitreya. Gautama the fourth Buddha said, I won't come, the fifth Buddha will come, his name will be Maitreya. And so Maitreya introduces himself as the expected one for this age, but he says, I don't come alone. The approach that every time the master has come every 2,000 years, has been a great, more can be given. And this planet, we've made progress and we realize in developing ourselves that 40 masters can come. And it'll be men at first, and in about 100 years or so, women will come. And Mother Mary will be one coming from the Bible that we know in the West. And they're going to role model getting along. And they're going to role model that not just religion is spiritual, that everything is spiritual. The economy, politics, education, and of course religion. Everything is meant to be spiritual. Everything is spiritual. And they say when we come to the end of one age and the beginning of a new, we tend to forget the symbolic and deeper meaning of our own teaching. And that's why we see so much crisis. We kind of fall off the walk with the teachings. And that's why they come to teach again. Maitreya says, don't believe the guy in the brown jacket right here. Don't believe me. That's called blind belief. The whole purpose of today is that you heard his name once, and if you hear it again, you have some reference information. One of the things Maitreya has given to share is that without sharing, there is no justice. Without justice, there is no peace, and without peace, there's no future. And now mankind has the capability of destroying themselves, and it's important that we start to share resources. He does sharing resources equitably. That right now they're biased towards the wealthy, and they keep buying. They're buying. The policy keeps getting moved in that direction, and the monies and the resources aren't being shared equitably. And he said that the money will, at some point in the future, as the masters come public, they'll be teaching again, and we'll be learning from them, and the root solution will be their education. And they're so confident in their ability to